There are some strange animals that are very important for our society and we don't even know. In today's documentary, we are talking about 3 different strange animals around the world, species that are in danger. Our first animal on the list is the pink fairy armadillo. The pink fairy armadillo is the smallest species of armadillo, mammals recognized by a bony armor shell. This desert-adapted animal is endemic to central Argentina and can be found inhabiting sandy plains, dunes, and scrubby grasslands. Pink fairy armadillos have small eyes, silky yellowish-white fur, and a flexible dorsal shell that is solidly attached to its body by a thin dorsal membrane. In addition, its spatula-shaped tail protrudes from a vertical plate up the blunt rear of its shell. This creature exhibits nocturnal and solitary habits. Also is classified as a fossorial generalist insectivore. Main source of its food consists of ants and larvae it finds underground. While those are its primary sources of food, the armadillos are known to eat worms, snails, and various insects. In captivity, the animal was observed to be willingly accepting such foods as watermelon, avocado shells with rest of flesh, and Missouri insectivore diet. The conservation status for pink fairy armadillo is still uncertain, and it is listed as data deficient by the IUCN Red List of Threatened Species. The declining population for this species has generally been attributed to farming activities and predators, including domestic dogs and cats. Pink fairy armadillos are found less commonly than they were a few decades ago, and the field sightings have been rare and incidental.
The pink fairy armadillo lives in scrubby grasslands that display a variety of Dinlarrea on Puerto Luca shores during spring and summer periods. It also resides in sandy plains and dunes. The Mendoza region has both warm and cold seasons, and likewise a wet and dry season. The pink fairy armadillo is classified as a subterranean armadillo that is extremely sensitive to the environmental change and stress. In order for them to survive and maintain stability, they must occupy 100 steps, place that contains sufficient amount of compact sand and hiding place. Now, thermoregulation and external shell. This fine hair has been found to be beneficial for thermoregulation in an environment with highly variable temperatures. Night temperatures in Argentina plains can get very low, and since the armadillo is nocturnal, it needs the fur to conserve heat while in being active outside its burrow. The pink fairy armadillo has these characteristics as well, but its shell is more softer and more flexible. Thus, the shell is closed out of the body for the blood vessels to be seen through the armor. This protective part of the animal is only attacked via a thin membrane along the spinal column of the animal. The armored shell consists of 24 bands that allow the animal to curl up in a ball. Lastly, the shell is also thought to help with thermoregulation.
Sunda colugo. The Sunda flying lemur is a species of colugo. Until recently, it was thought to be one of only 2 species of flying lemur, the other being the Philippine flying lemur, which is found only in the Philippines. The Sunda flying lemur is found throughout Southeast Asia, in Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, and Singapore. The Sunda flying lemur is not a lemur and does not fly. Instead, it glides as it lives among trees. It is strictly arboreal, is active at night, and feeds on soft plant parts such as young leaves, shoots, flowers, and fruits. The head body length of Sunda flying lemur is about 33 to 42 centimeters. Its tail length measures 18 to 27 centimeters, and its weight is 0.9 to 1.3 kilograms. The Sunda flying lemur is protected by national legislation. In addition, deforestation and loss of habitat, local subsistence hunting poses a serious threat to this great animal. Sunda flying lemur live either solitary or in small groups that are loosely connected. They can be territorial as regards foraging and sleeping areas. They are mainly nocturnal. In the daytime, they sleep high within dense foliage, in the treetops, or in holes in trees. They can climb more than 100 meters with minimal loss in elevation. These animals are quite helpless if on the forest floor. Sunda colugo is located in Southeast Asia. This kind of animal is adapted to many different vegetation types, including gardens, primary and secondary forest, rubber and coconut plantations, fruit orchards, and many others. However, not all of those habitats can sustain large colugo populations. Although Sunda flying lemurs are fairly adapted to disturbed forests, their numbers have been decreasing due to habitat loss from logging and the conversion of native forests into farmland. Nonetheless, Sunda flying lemurs are considered at low risk of extinction by the IUCN Red List.
The tufted deer. Okay, the tufted deer is a small species of deer characterized by a prominent tuft of black hair on its forehead and fang-like canines for the males. It is a close relative of the muntjac, living somewhat further north over a wide area of central China, northeastern Myanmar. Suffering from overhunting and habitat loss, this deer is considered near threatened, and it is the only member of the genus Elaphurus, and it's restricted to the forested mountain habitat up to 4,500 meters above sea level, making study difficult. Okay, let's talk about the habitat and distribution. Male tufted deer with tusk and a more prominent tuft of hair. The antler is barely visible. The tufted deer is found mainly in China, where it occurs in the south from eastern coast to eastern Tibet. It is absent from the extreme south of the country. There are old records of this species in northeastern Myanmar, but recent surveys failed to find any possible due to the lack of surveys on the preferred habitat. This animal is found in both evergreen and deciduous forests with extensive understory and nearby freshwater supply. The availability of salt licks is also a positive factor to the presence of this animal. This deer is able to withstand minor human disturbance, and it is occasionally found in cultivated lands.